Capcom is basically showing us that they want it in their game. They want it in the game. It's just like all the other fighting games that we have that it might be so many that people hate. It's just Street Fighter 6 got throw loops. A question that has come up, or a debate that has come up since the Street Fighter League and the Capcom Pro Tours ended. In the Street Fighter League, I think it was team. I forgot the team name that actually won, but Kawano was on the team. Kawano was the one who actually closed it out. And we know Kawano, Evo champion, very, very strong Street Fighter player. He actually won it all throw loops. Like he threw the man like 4 or 5 times at the end of the match to end it and seal the deal with everything. So with the ending like that, everybody that their mama went online basically talking about like, man, Capcom, you happy with this? You happy with this? Man, just won Street Fighter League all this money doing throw loops. You fine with that? And obviously, Capcom's fine with it. We've been talking about how throws work in this game since it came out. We about to be in the 3rd season, and they have patched throws, but it seems like they made them even stronger. So it seems like this is the direction that they want to go in with throw loops. So let's go ahead and ask the question: is throw loops that big of a deal? Are they that bad? Are they, because people go back and forth with it. Some people say they're fine. Some people say they are. But you got to hear from us. How about you, Mr. Gamer Lift? What do you think about it?
So I'm gonna start off with saying I absolutely despise and detest throw loops. I don't understand
Off the gate.
why. I just don't understand why they kept this mechanic in the game. Why they feel like it's something like this. Just take it out. Street Fighter 6 is already a game where sometimes you feel like you're fighting for your life every second of the match. Like you just like out of like. There's the drive rush, like certain characters are just so strong with drive rush. You try to whiff punish somebody as they're zooming towards you with this green smoke on them, and you like stuff whiffs. Just for it's like with no reason. It's like it like makes people's hurt boxes kind of weird. Like it's like they almost disappear sometimes. So that's a struggle trying to figure that out. Now, drive impact is not. It's a struggle too. Now, for me, I'm fairly good at like reacting to DIs. Like a lot of times I want you to DI because I've just gotten to the point where I can hear the sound, so I can react to it. So DIs is not as big of a problem. It does get a little hairy when people start mixing in DIs with like after jabs and stuff, or they mix up the timing. So you still have to be on your toes with that. But throw loops is just, and people always say, just take the throw, man. Okay, just take the throw and I'm lose. I've seen Daigo grab people like 10 times in a row, and that wouldn't necessarily like from throw loops, but the fact that I just don't know why you do it. And everybody doesn't have them. That's the thing. Some characters don't have throw loops. So it's like, this is not even a thing that's like equal across the whole board. You got some characters like, I believe like Ken can do it. Luke, oh my God. When I see Luke do throw loops, I just get angry on the inside. I just hate how his grab look. It's so disrespectful. He just pick you up like a little baby and just drop you on your back. And I'm like, bro, like really? So it's just like, and it's like, the thing is, a lot of times on wake up, you can't do a button because for some reason, grabs, I think throws are like, what are they? I believe 5 frames, if I'm not mistaken. I've been a little rusty on some of my frame data, but I do believe throws are like 5 frames or something like that. So you can't, like, you think a jab will work, right? Because jabs a lot of times are 4 frame jab. No, it still don't work. You still get, I'm like, that right there, it structurally doesn't make sense how frames will work, in my opinion. Because if the jab is 4 frames and you try to grab me, I should hit you out of the grab. That's the whole rock, paper, scissors thing. Grabs beat blocks, blocks beat attacks, and attacks beat throws, right? So it kind of just throws off the whole like RPS system of how games work in general. I'm just not a big fan of throw loops. I do think it's a little cheesy to see somebody like use these tactics, but at the same time, you do what you can and win. So I mean, if it's a lot of money on the line, grab. If they're not gonna take it, but that's the thing is, it's like if I take on now when I take, it's a time when you start to shimmy me, and then the one time I take, I get hit, punish counter, and now I explode. So it's like that's the thing, like the punish counter mixed with the throw loops is what makes this thing so volatile. I hate throw loops. I just hate them. I just don't understand why they kept them. I mean, it's their game, so hey, what do I have to say? I just bought the game. But it's very annoying. It's so annoying. Like, and you got some shenanigans with like driver. Some characters can't do it like normally because their throws pushing back too far. But some characters can like drive rush in to do it. It's just, I just don't like it, man. I think it's unnecessary. But hey, it's the game we play, man. Like I said, Street Fighter 6 is a game where some moments you feel like you fighting for your life the entire match, trying to stop and counter what people are doing to you. Throw loose, drive rush pressure. Oh, he's gonna DI me. Oh man, I'm burnt out. I got to get out of the corner. Oh, now I'm stunned. So it's the game we play, man. But I do not like throw loose.
When we go back to just simple, what are throw loops? Like, what are they used for? Basically, in certain games, if you throw a person after the throw is done, you're close enough to where you're able to come back and be able to be in enough range to where you can throw them again. You can be in range position to throw them again by the time they get up. And this opens up like 50-50. So basically, anybody who don't know what a 50-50 is basically just like I'm in a situation where like it's a variety of different things that can happen. So like I have to guess which one that he's basically gonna do. And in a game like and typically with throw loops, the reason why they're powerful is because like either I can throw or I can put you in a position to where it's like Devin said, if I shimmy, then all of a sudden, I could be set up for like a block, touch of deaths. In some cases, you can be set up for unblockables, and stuff like that. It really just depends on the game. But in a game like Street Fighter 6, it can get annoying because if I'm in a situation where I'm in a 50-50 in a game to where like if he shimmies and I miss this throw and I'm in the corner, like and he starts dumping drive gauge, like I mean, the corner is the worst place to be in Street Fighter 6. He starts dumping drive gauge. He can get like 2 full combos before he decides to go ahead and I get up again and then he does something and then he go ahead and dumps to level 3. It's like, I mean, I'm looking at 75% of my life possibly going like right here. So, that's why people hate throw loops. But then you have people who will say just like Devin said, just take the throw. Just take the throw. And I can get it, because a lot of people say they make it seem like you have no option in Street Fighter 6 on what it is that you're supposed to do. Like a lot of people complain about throw loops, like taking the throw isn't an option. It's a fighting game. 50-50s have been in it for forever. Guess what you're supposed to do? This is fighting games. I just think it's just more annoying in a game like Street Fighter 6 where the offensive pressure is so heavy. Like Devin said, it's like I feel like I'm fighting for my life at all times. Like there's not much like people fighting back and forth in neutral and all that other stuff. So I can understand where people are coming from. Do I feel like they should get rid of throw loose? Do I feel like it's that bad? I'm kind of leaning more so on the side, like, and of course, like Capcom is basically showing us that they want it in their game. They want it in the game. And I feel like if that's just one of the things that this game has, it's just like all the other fighting games that we have that it might be so many that people hate or they don't like. It's just Street Fighter 6 got throw loops. So I kind of understand why people hate it, but I mean, if a fighting game just bowed the knee to whatever, like people said they wanted and they didn't like it, you need to change this. Like they wouldn't have their own unique identity. And I feel like this is just where Capcom wants to go with it. They probably feel like it helps them with the offensive type of pressure they want to have in the game. So I feel like it's bad, but I don't feel like it's bad enough that they need to get rid of it. It's just one of the things that's in the game. So, like we dealt with X Factor for forever in MVC3. A lot of people felt like that sucked, but I mean, it made MVC3. But that's all I got. So, anything else you want to add, Mr. Gaming?
I think that's an interesting way of looking at it. I will say though, like in like this scenario, like throw loops, I'm almost 100% certain that they didn't sit down in a room and say, "Hey, throw loops is a mechanic." Throw loops was a mistake that they overlooked. X Factor was a mechanic. Was it also a mistake? Yes, but it was an actual mechanic that they, hey, let's do this. This is gonna, you lose characters, you get stronger, you get faster. Okay, that's a mechanic. But throw loops, there's no way you're gonna tell me that they was like, yeah, throw loops. That's a thing. No, that's just something they overlook. Oh, we didn't realize that throws leave you too close, and then they beat out stuff that's faster than throws for some reason. Like there's no way they're gonna tell me that, hey, a jab is 4 frames. If I have a 4-frame jab and I try to wake up and do this jab on the throw, I get grabbed. That literally breaks the whole RPS and like format of how fighting games are supposed to work, at least to me. Because I thought the way I remembered it when I learned how frames work, if you can have something that's faster, it's typically supposed to beat out at the very least trade. So the fact that I can wake up and do a 4-frame jab and still get hit by a 5-frame throw, that just literally that makes no sense to me. I mean, of course, we had things like in Marvel TACs. That was unintentional. They didn't know that was going to happen. But at the very least, TACs and Infinites in Marvel 2, they took skill. Like, yeah, you could kill somebody just from Infinite, but you had to learn this stuff was like, over time, it became normal, but you still had to learn like a whole sequence of buttons and a setup. And also, TACs weren't guaranteed because a person could break out of them. They had a 1 out of 3 chance to break out of it. Infinites in Marvel 2, same thing. That's really hard to do, like really hard to do those things. So something like that, it's like, yeah, it's broken, it's busted because I can just 1% somebody. Now, guard breaks in MVC2 is kind of similar to throw loops. I don't think they intended for guard breaks. I don't think they intended for you to be like, hey, I'm going to, on incoming, I'm going to hit you like up to 5 times. And for some reason, the game like registers this block stun. And on like the certain number of hits, you just get guard broken. That was a mistake also. So I kind of put them in the same category of like, I mean, guard breaks is a little worse because at times if a person did it right, there was nothing you could do about it, period. So at least with throw loops, you have an option to defend yourself, but it's just, like I said, they shimmy you one good time. The one time you like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take the throw, and then they shimmy you. And let's say you're somebody like, I don't know, Kuma, stand heavy punch, bow, and you just looking at his back on the ground, just like, man, I wish I had an attack there.
But you said the S word. You said skill. So first of all, that's the issue right there. We know in these games nowadays, like yes, like it takes skill to play Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. So I'm not saying it doesn't. I mean, if I picked up the stick right now, I get mollywop. But at the same time, it's like you could tell with these games they're lowering the skill ceiling because they want as many people to get it in as possible. So if you really look at Street Fighter 6 and you look at basically what we see the direction that Capcom is kind of wanting to go with it, you can see why they probably kept throw loops in the game. You could probably see why they kept it in there. It keeps it exciting. It keeps the the motion moving. If it wasn't throw loops, it's kind of like a Street Fighter 5 situation. If I take the throw, because in situations it's better to take the throw in Street Fighter 5 because you're gonna get pushed far enough away to where he can't come back and do it again. Then that kind of resets the neutral. They probably don't want that situation. They probably want it to just let's keep the pressure going, let's keep it fun, let's keep you guessing, let's keep it in a position where it's like the momentum can keep going. So I just feel like this is what Capcom wants. Like this is just what they want. And it might suck because we're like, hey, we want to be honest, we want to be this, we want to be that, but that H word, that honest word, I mean, like we just, I mean, when you look at Tekken 8, do you feel like they're trying to keep it honest? Like that's just a game you might as well throw honest out the window, and it just seems like that's what is going on. Our Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, they're trying to do their best with having a mix of this and a little bit of that, the offense and defense, but it's the reason why people are clamoring for City of the Wolves to do good because it's like, it seems like with their defensive options will lead a little bit more towards balance. And I'm not saying it makes Street Fighter a bad game. Like we see it's dumb popular. We just see the Evo Japan numbers come out. Like Evo Japan Street Fighter 6 got like 3,500 entries, and the next one Tekken got like what? I don't even think 1,000. Like Street Fighter 6 is just mad popular. So they're doing it right. People are playing the game. And then at the end of the day, I feel like, if you add it to where it's just like it came fresh out the gate, ready to play. Well, you do that in a world to where other people are having issues with that. I mean, people, even if they don't like what your game is doing, they'll probably put up with it because this is the best game I can just get in and start playing and have fun. And it's not like it's just so dumb broken it's impossible to have fun in Street Fighter 6. So anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I still hate it. I just, I'll never like throw loops.